Okay. Alrighty. Here we are. It's early for me. I am not quite awake yet. So this should be interesting. I don't know what I'm doing up yet. I was super exhausted, not feeling well last night, so I was in bed before midnight last night, which was unusual for me with the schedule I've been keeping lately. So I could not lay there anymore, and I hate waiting around for stuff to start. It ramps up my own nerves, so I'm like, let's just do this now. I don't think I can sit around and watch the clock for a few hours to wait to go here, so that'll drive me nuts. So we're just gonna go now. Plus last night late when I was trying to do, like, I only got an hour in on Minecraft last night, because I just started to feel so shitty, and I'm just like, oh, this is hitting me full force out of nowhere. I was like, yeah, I toughed it out for like an hour, and then like my eyes kept closing. I'm like, yeah, we need to just give this up for the night. So that's what we did. So apologies on the short Minecraft stream last night. Well, short for me. I had 2 short ones in a row. The one was just a late night, and then the other one just pile drive with exhaustion. I'm just like, yeah, let's not. So, and I really didn't want to sit around video editing for like 2 hours before the stream starts. I'd rather do that later tonight. I'm working on the edit of the last needle felting project we did. So like the first one, at the end of the project, when we were done all of the live streams on it, I downloaded the live streams and then put them all together in one quote unquote speed felt video. If you can feel the air quotes, imagine them. Because even sped up all of the live streams, like I sped them up to like 800%. Any faster, and it was harsh to watch because of my hand moving so fast. So the first one, what was it, 13 live stream sessions, 14, something like that, got condensed down into 5 hours at 800%. That was a lot. I'm not sure. I think this last project was 12 weeks, or 12 sessions, shall we say. I got the first session of 2 hours and 12 minutes edited down to 15 minutes. Between speeding up and cutting out where I was running my mouth and not doing anything. The next session was 3.5 hours, I think. Currently I've got it down to like 3 hours. So, I couldn't take any more video editing yesterday because I was just too tired, and my hand was starting to lock up a little bit from finding where I needed to be in the frame rate. So I was like, yeah, that's enough for today. It's gonna take me probably a week or 2, maybe closer to 2 weeks to get that editing job done. Plus, when I think I can only go so far in my editing program before it flips its shit, and then I have to render it where it is, and then pick up where I left off, and then smush them together. I think I might have to do just the video and then render that and then put the audio in. I think that's how we made it happy the last time. We'll see. Because I have like 2 gigs of space left on my hard drive. Oh, that's what I needed to check. I will have to check that later. Can't forget, I was cutting all kinds of video clips out. I may have forgotten to empty my recycling bin. I don't know where those cut clips went. I don't know if they vanished into oblivion or if they're sitting in the recycle bin. I'm gonna have to check that. Because my PC is just kind of limping along at the moment. I'm trying not to make it too angry. Because there's definitely a lot of stuff on there that I need to go through and probably remove and move files around and shit. Like, I've already had to buy like a 2 terabyte portable to try to move or house the video projects on, because I'm like, we have a problem here. So I was trying to see if you okay? Mm-hmm. Trying to see if the YouTube music library had updated any new songs. There was like one artist that put up like maybe 5 or 6 songs, so it's gonna be a lot of the repeat stuff that we had the last speed paint. Sorry. I might add some more reggae in this time, since it's like a beach scene. I don't have that much reggae though, so we'll see. But anyhow, we're on to WoW challenges today. We are doing, or kicking off things today with some Bloodthirsty Leveling. So Bloodthirsty is my challenge of choice. You're basically grinding to max level. Very limited quests involved, except in specific extenuating circumstances. And those are explained on the website in the rules section for the Bloodthirsty challenge. So, like, you're allowed to quest to get out of your starting area if and only if you're locked into said starting area. So, like, your goblins, your pandas, your demon hunters, your death knights, your worgans, you guys are allowed to quest out of the starting area. As soon as you're out, though, that's it. It's time to start grinding. And there's a couple of other exceptions for X-Pack transitioning. Don't know if you really need to apply those now. You can probably just grind without them. Since the world has changed so much since those were allowed, you could almost disregard those where you don't need to do those quests. The only quest that you have to do right now is some portion of the transition between Shadowlands and Old World, shall we say. Even if you do the Moss skip, you still have to take the storyline once you get into Oribos. So, and then there will be some quests on Orbos' side to get into Bastion. So, but all of those quests are outlined on the website. If you are a Bloodthirsty Challenger, you cannot take the World Quest Threads of Fate option from the Threads of Fate quest. I know it's confusing because the option and the quest are the same name. You have to do the quest, but you cannot take the Threads of Fate World Quest option. I really wish that they had named the World Quest option differently or named the quest differently, because it does get a little confusing in there, but they didn't. So if you are a Bloodthirsty and you take the Threads of Fate World Quest option, you will be flagged, because it gives you credit for like 300 quests. So that's definitely more than the 4 quests on your allowed list. So, like, don't do it. It's not just one quest. You're not being cheeky, you're not sneaking by, you're not pulling a fast one. It will be seen. And it will be picked up. So we're kicking things off today with the Warrior. The Warrior is the lowest level remaining Bloodthirsty I have on my personal mission to get every class that's currently in the game to max as a Bloodthirsty Challenger. I really want to get this done now because I really don't want to play an Invoker. I really don't. It has no appeal to me whatsoever. I'm looking at the class and I'm like, meh. I've already got the Death Knight and we're working on the Demon Hunter. I really don't want to play another hero class. They're a little janky sometimes. I've had my fill of hero classes for now. Just personal opinion. I really don't want to run an Invoker. Not as a challenger. Maybe dick around with it once game goes live on my own as a normal character, but I have no desire to run it as a challenger. And that's if it even gets put into the allowed races for the challengers. Don't know yet. That is a bridge we are nowhere near crossing. We need to get into beta first. Let everyone on the test team get in there, root around, look at things from challenger perspectives, try to play as a challenger, and see what we find. Our findings from Shadowlands beta were very concerning. But they made some changes when things went live, and once we got in there on the live servers, we were extremely surprised. Sorry, I'm making sure he has plenty of room. I'm not entirely sure how far out his hitbox or aggro box spreads, so we're just gonna let him walk by. That's fine. That's not gonna bother us. We got time. No sense in rushing it. I'm gonna close that. So yeah, I've left about 3 bars to go on everybody, since we didn't have that many challengers to work through remaining. And we might try to get a level in on the working man because they've been a little neglected in my non-stream prep time. I've been doing everything else but WoW in my non-stream prep time because it's been a lot. It's been a lot. I'm definitely looking forward to my WoW vacation. I'll still be around. I'll still be doing stuff for Lita and in the community. It's just I'm going to be taking a small break from WoW for a bit once we complete this mission, although this mission is far from being completed because if I'm doing a level a week, this one's not going to be done till October. And I am actually pretty concerned about that. Because if Alpha's rumored to be starting this week, we don't know for sure. We won't know until it actually starts. I don't know when beta is going to start, and I don't know when they plan on taking this live for Dragonflight. So I definitely feel the clock ticking. I really didn't want to run without rested after running the priest without rested. Trying to race 2 thirsty to get to be the first bloodthirsty of the X pack. And I was short by like 8 hours. We were racing, but he was definitely ahead of me because he found something that was giving a little bit more XP than what I was killing. And he was also on a hunter, so the fights were going a little bit faster. He could move through them a little bit quicker, but neither one of us were really sleeping more than like 2-hour increments. But yeah, I said I wasn't gonna do that again without the rested, but I don't know. I mean, I know we're on the troll, so we're getting a little bit more XP off of the beasts because of the racial. So I might try to sneak in an extra level here and there, maybe. I don't know. It really depends. It also depends on my sanity and time, because time is very thin at the moment. We've got some things happening real world that, you know, we've had to deal with and things, and we finally heard from from the administration that's handling the husband's disability appeal. We had been waiting to hear something back. They finally contacted us about 2.5, almost 3 weeks ago, saying to expect a letter in the mail with, you know, a date for setting up an appointment with one of their doctors. So to see if their doctor is going to feel similar to what 2 different doctors he's talked to have said. Morning, or afternoon, Mrs. Rockero. So, we're nervous. Because you never know what they're gonna say, because, you know, they're on the side of the administration, so... We don't know. But we have a date for that now. So we're gonna be a bundle of nerves until that happens. That's not gonna be for another month. But we just sent off the confirmation paperwork today because he didn't trust the way the phone call was set up, and our lawyer has access to his application online so he can see if they've received the confirmation stuff. So we sent that off today. We'll call the lawyer back next week and see if they see that it was received on their end, because, you know, after the last paperwork kerfluffle, we're especially nervous that, you know, shit's gonna go wrong in the 11th hour. So, how are you doing, Mrs. Rockaroo? Hope all is well with you. I really want to get back to work on our painting. Uh-oh. Twitch. Behave, Twitch. I'm not in the mood, Twitch. Stop being twitchy. My preview likes to buffer. And I don't know if that means I'm actually dropping or if it's just the web page being silly. It looks like it's okay. I've not dropped any frames, so on my end. I am watching that very closely, especially after they were talking about rolling brownouts in Texas the other night to help conserve or take strain off of the power grid, because I'm routed through Texas, so I'm like, yeah, let's not. I'm like, can we route me through somewhere else? So I'm just like, yeah, okay. Alright, so 45. So she's got 15 levels to go. Maybe I miscalculated. So 46, 47, 46, 47. Hold on. 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Yeah, I wanna see about getting an extra couple of levels in there soon if we can. Don't know if my sanity will tolerate that. Trial of Style next week. Or no, not Trial of Style next week. Auction House Dance Party next Friday. Don't do it. I have to put that on the show list for today. Don't do it. It's usually specific auction houses in Stormwind and Orgrimmar, and those 2 cities should have alternate auction houses you can use. It seems harmless, but if you get pulled up on stage, there's a buff that puts on you for 24 hours where you'll just suddenly start healing when you're out of combat. If, like, you'll start to dance and start to heal, so that's not allowed. So don't do that. Oh, right. We're supposed to be taking a photo. I'm like, why am I sitting like this? So, yeah, that's, I'm tired. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm trying to do 3 different things at once. That's what I'm trying to do. It's not working. We need more caffeine. I really want to try to get another art stream in. I don't know when that's gonna happen. I didn't want to fully give up on Parkitect yet. Challenges. Bloodthirsty. Control your soul. Hot warrior. Dings level. What are we? 45. Slash blades coming in at 3 days. 11 hours. 50 minutes. And 13 seconds. I almost just typed 50 and said minutes and didn't type it. So that's the kind of day we're looking at here, guys. Whew. Like, I got some sleep. It was broken sleep, but I got sleep. Alright. Kind of impressive for days played versus kills there. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. This one went through level squish, so her kills are gonna be a bit more than somebody else.
Knowledge is the best currency, but I do take gold and interesting trade-ins.
Alright, so she picked up a couple of things here. So we picked up an axe. I did take the transmog option off of this, but I'm running prot, so I can't really use it. And the other stuff, we're just gonna go ahead and vendor. So greens, we end up with 16 gold. And let's get rid of our vendor trash. And that was 177 in the vendor trash. I'm not gonna worry about the meats until we're done out here, because we'll just end up with more of it. This is my food stash currently. I haven't had to eat a whole lot right now, so that's good. I'm sure that will change when we get into Shadowlands, and I'm sure this one's gonna have to be killing moths just because of, you know, gore and everything, and not really having a way to deal with that. Especially if I get 2 on me and no way to heal mid-fight. So, I mean, you do have Victory Rush, but that's really only gonna be helpful at the end of a fight. And that gore dot is pretty brutal, so. Alright, so we're gonna pop on to the Shaman now. I really have to make some other sub badges. I forget about all the little things. I really don't have anything for you guys to cash your channel points into, and I feel bad that we don't really have all the bell and whistles, but we're really low tech here, so I do apologize about that, but you know. If I add more options with as scatterbrained as I am for you guys to do or to make me do during stream, we're never gonna get anything done. And I'll never finish whatever the hell I'm in the middle of talking about, so talk about a disjointed stream at that point. you know. I mean, I guess I could try to get like face paint crowns or something. But if I have a thing where you get to pick from a couple of options of me drawing on my arms that you see during art streams, it's gonna be kind of hard to explain when I break everything down and do speed videos, because I can't erase the shit on my arms, so it'll be a situation of, well, if you know, you know, so oh, I don't really want to do that. I've done face paint before. It starts to get super itchy after it dries, or at least the face paints that I've used. Like the cheap kid stuff, it starts to get crackly and... I had picked up face paint crowns one time. Oh god. The first trip that I met Russell on, when we had met in Key West on a vacation that we had taken together with our friends, well, with my friends. We'd been kind of dicking around and we had gone shopping, and I saw this, you know, stupid book that had like face paint crowns attached to it, and I was bored and I was like, hey, let's get this. And the poor boy, he let me draw all over him and forgot that I drew all over him before we went to bed. And he was like one of the first people up, so he went down to the free breakfast that was provided, and he couldn't figure out why people were staring at him while he was getting something to eat. And he came back to the hotel room, and he looked in the mirror when he went to like brush his teeth or something, and he was like, oh god. Like, I didn't actually draw like pictures of stuff. I think it was just like squiggles and things. It was just maybe just shapes or something. And a lot of it had faded off or had rubbed off onto the pillowcase. But there was still some marks that were faintly there. I felt so bad he forgot that that shit was still on his face when he walked down. But at the same time, he probably should have wiped it off before we went to bed. And I wasn't awake yet, so I couldn't, you know, remind him to wash his face before he went down. But they were pretty weak face paint crowns. They weren't that good. Oh, my allergies. Something is blooming again around here. It has been so dry. I don't know how anything is blooming. Maybe it's just the buildup of the pollen. We're starting to enter drought conditions here. So they put a burn ban in place. And a grass fire kicked off last night south of us. And the wind was sending it south, so we weren't in too much danger where we're at, but it was still a little bit of a concern because the town it was heading to was not that far from us, but and there's a lot of fuel for it in between us and there, so if the wind suddenly shifted, we would have been having to pay a lot more attention. It's still not out. I think they said it was about 85% under control this morning. But it's still something that, you know, I'm trying to keep an eye on in the background. Because you never know, all it takes is one wind shift. I think they were saying it came within yards of people's houses last night, so... And people were evacuated from that area, so I'm like, oh, okay. Because apparently the city called the mother-in-law and were bitching about the front yard, or the grass. There's been heat advisories in the triple digits, and the husband doesn't do well in the heat, and I am scared to death of large power things and loud noises. So, lawnmower is really not going to happen with me. I mean, if I don't have a fucking choice, I don't have a fucking choice, but, I don't even know how to fucking start on our lawnmower. It's a ride-on monstrosity. And sometimes we get the neighbor's yard, too. And the front really wasn't, like, he had just weed whacked the front down a bit, but I think they saw our dead flowers in the flower boxes that had gotten super tall, and I think that's why they were mad. So we had to rip out all of my dead flowers, which I was hoping they were going to come back once they got some water. That's not going to happen now because we had to cut them all out, because the city started bitching, and I'm like, thanks, you know, there's yards that look a lot worse than ours. I hope you called them too. Like, we kind of got pissed and just went on a rampage and destroyed everything in the front yard. And he cut down the grass, and as he's cutting the backyard, he's just kicking up dust. Like, there's just, like, this huge dust cloud just, you know, exiting from the side of the mower because it's so dry. And he's like, there's some spots in the back. He goes, there's not even any grass growing. He goes, this was ridiculous. I'm thinking the city came to read the water meter or something and they got mad. Like, it was barely ankle deep. And I'm like, really? I think it was the dead flowers that they were pissed about because they were so high. Like, it said they're wildflower mix, and we're like, okay, you don't expect the flowers to grow, like, a foot tall before they start to bloom. And I'm like, these are getting kind of high. When are they gonna do something? So I think that's what they were really mad about, but who the fuck knows? Because they didn't talk to us, they called the mother-in-law's cell phone. I guess that's the number she has for the city contact instead of the house landline, but okay. The internet provider we use requires that we have a landline, so it's part of their services. And it allows us to have the fiber, which has had far less interruptions than our previous internet provider, so we're kind of like, alright, fine, whatever. We'll cope. And that works out because the parents' cell phones were so old, they were on the old cell phone networks that they shut down. And they thought they were supposed to get replacements. My dad thought he arranged for replacements, and somehow that didn't end up happening or something. I don't know. So they don't have cell phones right now. Probably for the best. Because they had just the pay-as-you-go ones. And the way they used them, they were blowing through time so hard that like their time expiration date was like 5 years from now. And yet they'd be down to like 5 minutes left, and I'm like, you guys don't seem to understand. Like, if you're gonna do that, you really shouldn't be just talking for hours. It's like, we have a house phone for a reason. No one said you weren't allowed to receive calls on the house phone. But what can you do? Not a whole heck of a lot. Not sure if my dad's still hell-bent on going to the craft fair this year or not, but if he is, his ass is wearing a fucking mask. Uh-oh. You ate, and you didn't save anything for Momo. For he is gurring at you. I hear some kind of truck running. I don't know why. But it sounded like a large truck. Man, he is jittery. Look at that. I want to pull you. But I feel like you're gonna get stuck. Not in line of sight, really. There we go. So this one's been reduced to killing moths because she just doesn't have the hit points to play around with the mobs that do gore. She really didn't even have the hit points to play around with the foxes either, because those guys were hitting pretty hard. And her hit points are kinda low. There was 3 pieces of gear that I couldn't replace, maybe 4. No, 3. No, 4. So I wasn't able to replace feet or pants before. No, those pants might be a replacement. That might have been the best I could get. Honestly. And bracers. And I don't think we were able to find a better weapon either. And there were no capes on Auction House that were an upgrade from what I had. So we were kind of screwed. Plus mail was just so damn expensive. And I couldn't understand why, but I've hardly seen any mail pieces drop. So that might be why. We've picked up a whole bunch of gear. We did see mail gloves drop, but they were worse than what we had on. So, and that was I think the only piece of mail. Now we could have used the shield, and we could use the offhand, but I didn't get a main hand weapon to drop yet, so I don't know if I'm gonna sit on those two or not. Things will have to be thought about here when we go to a vendor at the end of this level. So she is sitting at 52 currently. And we're trying to get to 53. If you hear like a weird rattling noise, the husband's fan's running in the background. My mic picks up his keyboard, so I'm sure it's gonna pick up his fan. Sorry, it's like a weird vibration noise. There's not much I can do about that, because he just took the dogs out. That fan's a little temperamental. Depending on what it's sitting on, it likes to vibrate. Oh, is that what Momo wanted? He wanted to go potty?
Hmm?
Momo wanted to go potty?
Oh, I'm sure you wanted a treat too.
Well, it's nice to see him asking to go out again. It took us a long time to get him to that point. A very long time. So we will see how things go. If you need to put the other one back on in the dining room, that's fine. I was just freezing when I woke up.
Yeah, no.
I don't know why I was so cold when I woke up, but I was. I'm sure it won't last long. It's already in the upper 80s. But we will see. Alright. So let's get this guy here. So, I mean, these guys are sort of safe for this one. However, they don't give as much XP as the other mobs. So it takes quite a few more of them to get anywhere, unfortunately. But we've had a lot more greens than vendor trash because these guys only drop like this, sometimes that, and meat. So we even really haven't had that much meat drop from them. I mean, that's like a total of 300 meat, and we've been killing these things since level 50. So, what, an average of 100-ish per level, because we're about to be 53. Roughly. Give or take a couple of pieces. I'm okay with the leafy antennas, though. Those are... they're not worth a huge amount, but, you know, it's better than some things, so I'll take it. I do have the Murloc backpack. He's hiding in a shell. I think that's because I have something targeted. You can't always see that he's there though because I'm so zoomed out half the time. But he is there. Yeah, it must have been because I had something targeted, because now that we don't have anything targeted, he's sticking out. At first I thought it was kind of cute, but then I'm so zoomed out all the time, I never see him. Ugh, come on, we can get up this. We've gotten up it before. I didn't see any shoes that I liked that went with this outfit. I'm pretty sure I do have the shoes that go to this. It just wasn't blatantly obvious that they went to this, so I just went barefoot. I'm like, eh. Maybe as a shaman we would be barefoot anyway. Probably could have gone sandals. And when we redo our transmog, when we replace the gear at 56 or so, I might then at that point, but we'll see. as with all things. So this one's about to be 53. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's a dagger. Well, hello. So that's 72 intellect. That's 62 intellect. 7. Is that 8, 9, 10? Oh no, we can't have both. It would be either these two or those two. So it's 12 crit on the offhand. What's our mastery? What would be better? So, I mean, we can wear that. $9.78. It's still $9.78. This adds a block chance, though. Does block really matter, though? When we're casting? Why do I have avoidance? It must be another piece of gear that's causing that. Alright, well, let's see how that goes. So that was $9.78. So I mean, it did increase the stam. Alright, not by a whole lot, but let's see how we feel about things and stuff. Oh, snuffly, snuffly. Feel like Mr. Snuffle up, I guess. From Sesame Street. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Didn't really feel that much different. Not sure if the fight went a little bit faster, maybe. I wasn't fully paying attention to how long that took. Oh, it felt similar. So, I don't know. It gave us a few more hit points to play with. So, I mean, that's fine. I probably would have rather vendored that, but we did have a pretty older piece of equipment there on us, so probably for the best that we upgrade that. As best as we can. So about a bar in a sliver, a quarter, less than a quarter, an eighth. left on this one's level. I'll tell you, the Demon Hunter, man, this last level just dragged. I was killing the green mobs though, so I did go and try to kill the level 60 mobs on the Demon Hunter while she was 56. It was possible, but the time it took to kill the moths, there might be sirens filtering into the background here in a minute. It's either an ambulance or a police car going by. I think it was an ambulance. But the time it took to kill the damn moth was not worth the XP. I mean, 950 XP is great and all. That hurt, kinda. But, it just felt like it was taking an unnecessary long amount of time. Now, next level, if the Demon Hunter dings, she's gonna have to move on to the level 60 mobs, because I think the 53s are gonna gray out to her. Or they might gray out at 58, but I don't know if my sanity can take killing them another level. It might be 58 they gray out, I can't remember. I just didn't feel like doing another casting bolt for that little bit of health the mob had left. So we got about a bar left to go. So I hope everybody's week has been doing them okay. And we'll find out tomorrow if the rumored alpha actually starts. I know that they've been posting talent tree previews like crazy, and we haven't talked about them on the podcast because shit's gonna change. Shit's gonna get adjusted. There's no point in getting y'all worked up over a potential new talent tree that shit's gonna get shuffled around on. Has been our feelings on it, so it's way too soon to be getting worked up over that stuff, so we're just gonna let that be. And I know some people were concerned about certain spells being taken away from base and being put back into the talent tree. Y'all seem to forget that, you know, we've never allowed talents up to this point. And a lot of classes only had like 3 spells 4 max to work with before Legion. So, you know, people were still doing it. It made it a bit more challenging, but people were still completing it. So, you know, we'll see what happens. If we have to adapt, we'll adapt. But we don't take adapting lightly. And we definitely weigh pros and cons. And that is part of what the beta testers will be looking at for WoW challenges. Seeing, you know, what all is involved in everything. So don't get too upset about it yet. You know, let's get into beta first. Let's let our test team get in there and dig around and see what's what. That's gonna be the biggest thing. Give us a chance to get in there and look at it from a challenger's perspective. It might be fine. Now, my biggest thing was if they pre-fill out any of the talent tree for you and it's counting as talent points done already, that's what we need to look at. Because they talk a lot before alpha starts and when alpha starts, and even through beta. But as we saw with Shadowlands, you know, damage output from quest mobs and stuff can be drastically reduced by the time things go live. So we will see what happens. And now that we have some iron testers on the test team, providing they still follow through and get into beta, I may be primarily looking from Bloodthirsty Green Man point of view, since I'll be having green gear on. I had to look at Iron View during Shadowlands, and that was rough. I think that's part of why I can't stand the mall anymore, because I had to run it so many damn times in beta. But like, I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. I go in there now and like my skin crawls. I haven't been in there since they put the mall skip in, because I'm like, nope, not doing that again. No, thank you. But, you know, we'll see what happens. We're still a good ways away from anything. I'm not sure how long alpha's expected to last. I don't know if that's like a 1 month thing or a 2 month thing, but I know a lot of people are like, oh, game's gonna release by the end of the year. I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure this time last year, beta had already started. And they were getting close to talking about open beta, so like going into September-ish, because the game was originally supposed to come out in like October or something, or November, and they pushed it back a month. They're not beyond pushing it back. They might have just had to stick a date on it. So, I mean, it'll be interesting if they manage to pull off a release date before the end of the year. But I think that's optimistic, maybe? Depends on what happens during beta, really. Because as we saw, they had to do a lot of fine-tuning on endgame stuff, because the endgame people were pissed about how they had handled certain aspects of Shadowlands. So we'll see. I can't remember if it was something raid related or world quest related, but there was something going on that the endgame guys were all up in arms about, which is why they had to push back launch of Shadowlands, because they had to like go in and redo some things entirely. Because people were not happy. But we'll see what happens. As with most things. So there is a podcast this weekend. I think this weekend's a solo show. I don't think Lita has anybody on this week. Like, I don't even think she has a co-host this week. Next week there might be a guest, but I'm not certain. I don't know if that guest confirmed yet or not. I haven't heard back yet. I'm not even sure who's co-hosting that week. Am I? I might be. I'm not sure. There's a possibility I'm co-hosting that week. I think I agreed to it and don't remember agreeing to it, and that's fine. I just have to go back and check my messages. Because she was telling me about somebody that she asked to see if they would come on. And I was just, and I'm like, okay, like, that's cool. I need to check now. I might be co-hosting that week. That might have been why she was saying that to me. Oh damn, she might have asked me verbally. You know what? I think she asked me verbally, because that might have been why I didn't remember it. Oh. I typed... Oh, damn. No wonder she never said anything about that. Okay. I typed a message to her and never hit enter on the message. Yeah, I was tired that night. Wow. I'm like, that's weird. She never replied to me telling her that the thing was fine. That would be why she never replied to it, because I never sent the message. Dang it, Discord. You should have reminded me that the message hadn't gone through. Probably one of those nitro features. But I'm not gonna pay for nitro. No thank you. I've got other bills that need paying when I can just use the free version. Okay. So we're almost there on the Shami Sham. Shaman is a little bit slower to get through, so I'm probably gonna need a little extra time on this next level. Probably. At least for my sanity. Because we've got at least 3 more levels killing these things. At least. Alright, where do we want to take our photo? Probably about there. Once that mob resets. And gets the heck out of my shot. Alright. So let me take those off now while I'm thinking about it. And let's go ahead and hearth. Now, we need to do slash plate. That was correct. I was yawning and I couldn't see what symbol it was I typed, and I'm like, wait. So, WoW challenges. Bloodthirsty Tidal Soul. Resto Shaman. days, level 53. Oh, that's not right. 53. Got a slash play time of 6 days, 7 hours, 18 minutes, and 35 seconds. Total kills thus far. We're up to a total of 11,261. Alrighty, Roo. That's off to Twitterland. Alright, so under 3 gold repair bill. Not terrible. Alright, let's do our vendor trash first here. So we ended up with a total of 321 on the patterned wings. We had 2 slumber powders, which is the big ticket item off of those moths, and 146 leafy antennas. So vendor trash came to 347. And now let's take a look at our green friends here. And our green friends brought in a total of another 395 gold. So, not terrible. Not terrible. So what is that? 5, 6, 7. I need to learn how to add 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 9 and 1 is 10. Is that 14? So 42, carry the 1. 3 and 3 is 6, and 1 is 7. 742? Maybe? Maybe? Thereabouts? If I did that right? Alright. Let's go ahead and we'll grab the Demon Hunter. Excuse me. Alright. So I did go gear shopping. And prices were a lot better. However, I couldn't get exactly what I wanted. So I wasn't able to upgrade my cape. So we still have the same cape from BFA that we've been bumming around in. I didn't bother trying to upgrade trinkets or rings or necklaces or anything. I wasn't able to get weapons as high as I felt I could. But, oh. Man, that main hand. Oh, okay. It's because the other one's indestructible. It's like, damn, that main hand took a beating. It's 34 of 75. Oh. How do I not have the little gear guy up? Some of this shit's taking quite a beating. Oh, wow, that's... Okay, so that's the starting necklace that we had from the starting area. Wow. That's funny. So yeah, these are from the starting area too. Yep. Wow. Alright then. Okay, so wasn't able to necessarily get the weapons that I was hoping for off of Auction House, so I ended up with 2 one-handed swords. I couldn't even get a warglaive and a sword. That's just what was available. But prices were not as stupid as the last time we had gone shopping, so that was helpful. Because we didn't have as much money the last time we went shopping. We probably spent like about 1,000 gold on gear. So we got 3 bars left on this guy. So yeah, our level 53s are green. They might go gray at 58, I'm thinking. I might be wrong about them going gray at 57. Probably 58. But the XP goes down so much at 57 on these green mobs that it drives me crazy. So if we make it to 57, we will be going over to the moths. We'll see. At least I have the Demon Hunter and the Shaman in 2 different spots, I guess. So we're not just hammering away in the same spot. So let's come back to our turtle friends. Do not be surprised if the little gear guy shows up on the side of the screen. I'm surprised he hasn't already, so we might have to repair in the middle of finishing up our run here on this one. But this was a tough level for me to get through. I'm so ready to be done this one that my attention was just not here. And I spent more time trying to find something to watch or listen to while I was playing than actually playing, so. Like, I sat down to start leveling and like a half an hour later I was still trying to find something worth watching on YouTube that was going to hold my interest, and I was like, oh, right. That's not good. So this one's level was a bit longer because of that. When I last checked in on the slash plate, I was sitting at around 8 hours, I think, or close to it. Probably check in on that here in just a second. 9 hours and 40 minutes. So I'm not that surprised by the time frame on this one. Monday, while I was trying to push through, I actually just was like, fuck it, and I put on some music and had a live webcam up at one point just to try to get through it faster, and the music only worked so well. I wasn't in the mood for just music, so. But I've got a couple different webcam sites that I'll frequent, like there's a couple different webcam networks down in the Keys. There's a cruise ship camera network that I'll sometimes check out. There's some different train station webcams that I'll hang out on from time to time, see what's happening. fact, I went to load up the one camera and it wasn't loading, and I'm like, what's happening? And then I saw that they had an internet outage. I was like, damn it. Found a new camera set for traffic cams for the Florida Keys, so that was fun. Now this one's a demon hunter, so should they complete their run, they will not get a write-up. Because they didn't start at level 1. But we still got a ways to go before we even think about that. This level isn't over yet. It's not over until we ding. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I did put some stuff up on Auction House on the Working Man before we got started. So I think we're gonna have time to pop over to them and try to get a level in on them. So we'll see if anything has sold over there. I doubt it will. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to be vendoring that life root at some point because I'm gonna need space in my bag. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Alright, where's that Foxy? Where's the Foxy? Haven't seen too many people out here while I've been leveling. It's kind of weird. There's been so little player traffic lately when I've been playing that I actually notice everybody that runs by me. I think the other night I only saw like 5 people run by me, which was kind of weird because it wasn't that late. I mean, it's summer, school's not in session right now, so it's a little weird. People are out doing vacation-y things, or just outside, or just doing other things, I suppose.
I need to target something first.
Targeting's so overrated. Let's just blindly throw glaives until it hits something. Don't do that on your challenger. I am being sarcastic. Alright, so. Come on. Don't have a target. Well, that's okay, because we're going to remedy that here in just a minute. We're going to give you a target. I want to get you now, while you're in position to be gotten. Did you swap the laundry?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Sorry, we're real bad about remembering that something had to get switched in the machines. I think we had 2 loads today, maybe? Was it 2 loads or 1? I don't know. My back's pissed today, so he threw it in the washer. I don't know why, my whole lower tailbone area is just clenching so bad. When I got up, I wasn't happy. I think it's because we quote unquote had a low pressure system move in that didn't kick off any rain. or a cold front that moved through that didn't kick off any rain. I think like 2 towns saw some showers. That was about it. Does that say indestructible? It does. Fascinating. Oh. Got people logging on and off of my listy poo. Alright. So, I mean, the fights haven't taken too long on these guys. I think that might be why the fight on the level 60 felt like it took forever. I mean, fairly good chance. Like, I had Immolation Aura fully come off cooldown like twice on one of the level 60 mobs, and I was like, oh. So at level 56, they were giving me 950 XP. So certainly more than these guys, but that extra bit of time to fully kill the mob was driving me crazy, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably not gonna work out so well for my sanity. Oh, killed a critter. Sorry, critter. That's gonna be a number. How many critters have we killed on this journey? Probably more than we want to admit. I have noticed that the gore dot hasn't always been sticking. So I don't know if I'm like blocking it sometimes or what. I mean, that time there it stuck, but let's see. Critters killed. We've killed 521 critters. So far, I'm sure that number is going to increase. More than likely. Alright. So let's get this guy next. So how are you guys doing on your challengers? What challenges are you playing, if any? All of the solo challenges are available for trackable play right now, as far as retail is concerned. So, the only retail challenges not currently available are teams. And I wouldn't bank on teams being ready before Dragonflight. That might not happen till after Dragonflight comes in because of some things and stuff that I think they have, Zaya looking at right now. You know, we'll see how things go.
It's too far away.
Then we're gonna have to start telling him, like, he's gonna have to do rule parameters and stuff for Dragonflight 2. Don't know if the challenges will be ready to go when Dragonflight launches, like the trackable aspect of them. That depends on how much time Zaya has and what he's able to get through and figure out. Because, I mean, we're just all volunteering our time, guys. We do this. We help lead it out for free, so it's not our full-time jobs. All this is volunteer, and as we have time to help her. Do, 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 do. So, is there any games aside from, like, across all spectrums that you guys are excited about coming out? Doesn't have to be Blizzard related, like anything. Like, I'm excited to get into Coral Island to see if I'm gonna like it, but that's not gonna happen until October. I'm excited for the Ranchers to come out, but I don't think that's happening until next year. Sometime. I want to pick up Lens Island. It's still in early access, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I want to pick that up. I had something else on my Steam wish list. I think Foundation. And that's been out though, I just haven't had the money to get it. Can't remember what else. I thought there was one other thing I had on my wish list at the moment. Don't remember. But what are you guys excited for, if anything? Not sure if the husband's looking forward to any games coming out, or if there's any on his radar. He hasn't really said. I am looking forward to the Beaver game, Timberborn, having more updates put out on their live version of the game. They've been doing some stuff on their test servers, which so they've been doing some stuff in the background. I haven't bothered to look at the test servers. I don't even know if I have access to that. But I just kind of want to wait until they put more stuff out on the live version of the game, or the more, you know, definite version of the game, before we head back into there. They haven't added all that much more. I think they've added a new mob type and a new crop type, but that's been about it. As far as actual gameplay additions go at the moment. So that's why we haven't been back into Timberborn recently. We'll get back there. I'm just waiting for them to do some more stuff. We haven't been in Before You Leave in a while. I started to get a little overwhelmed in there, trying to manage multiple different islands and stuff. That was starting to really stack up for me, and I'm like, oh, I don't know about this now. I mean, it's not a bad game. I just started to get overwhelmed personally. Alright, where is our... Sometimes he's over here. Sometimes I walk face first into him. Kind of depends. Careful, Momo. just these full body shakes.
I need a target.
Or his one leg's like kind of sliding out from underneath him. I'm scared to death he's gonna hurt himself again. And I don't think we have any pain pills left for him. I think we have like 2. But he's been doing pretty good. A lot better than we expected. All things considered. Alright, so next up. I'm gonna try to pull you so you're not sitting right on the flower. I did not realize that one was that close to dying. I feel bad that that dot just exploded him. Could use that on this mob. Alright.
I need to target something first.
Now the question is, will we make it to the end of the level without the little gear guy showing up? I don't know. We have essentially a bar and 2/3 left. I don't know. Sorry, I'm playing with one hand right now, so that's why I'm not like jumping over the curbs and getting stuck on them and stuff.
I need to get closer.
Just kind of using my mouse to navigate through the things here. So we're supposed to do Architect tomorrow at some point. We might be a little late getting started tomorrow because we kind of have to run to the store, and I'm not sure which store we're running to. We were gonna do it today and realized that not enough of the money that my parents gave us was gonna clear in the bank yet, so kind of have to wait. Until tomorrow. Usually it's not a big deal, we can get part of our grocery run done. But, we had to right now we have to give the aunt back her money the second we get the rent from my parents. Because it's going to be quite some time before we can get her paid off in full for the amount of money that we owe her. Where's your aunt's truck?
I have no idea.
I just happened to think about it. I'm like...
I assume it's with her kids, hon.
With her kids? No, it has to be down here. Right?
No, because my mother drove her down. No, her truck's up north somewhere.
For some reason I thought she had the truck down here. Fascinating. Sorry, I just had that thought. Hadn't heard anything about her truck being mentioned. Yeah, so we're supposed to do Architect tomorrow. We've got a lot more tutorials than I thought we did left, so we'll see what happens with that as well. Have to figure out which one we're gonna play tomorrow. I think we have 2 options. Because I believe we got through the one that I really didn't want to do last time. So we didn't end up playing last week because I had a migraine. So the turtles, they don't always drop stuff, so be prepared for that. I don't know why they don't always drop stuff. Because you would think that you'd get something off of them. A shell, meat, a toe, something. Those turtles can be rather stingy. Rather stingy indeed. That I just don't understand. Like, yeah, even a polished claw, something. A turtle tooth, a turtle beak. Like, we ought to get something. So is anybody going on any vacations? Oh, sorry. I really had to stretch my back. Anybody going on any vacations this summer? We would love to, but no money. So that ain't gonna happen unless something drastically changes. Trust me, we would love to have one. Oh, did they finally get him out of the rock? For like 3 days, I was triggering a turtle that was stuck in the rock. It might have been that one. It was starting to get really infuriating because he kept triggering on my AoE. But nothing I was doing was getting him out of there and actually getting him into a position to be killed, so he would just be hitting me even though he was evading himself. I was taking damage if I stood there. Because then I thought, well, maybe he's not really doing anything to me, but he was, so... Like, at this point, we would take, like, a weekend away locally. Our sanity. Our sanity. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Sorry, I have to fix my hair. It's bugging me. Oof. Okay. Don't want to jump in the water. I don't want that water buff. I mean, well, we can take it off right away, but I just don't want to have to worry about it. Okay. Shit, we're probably gonna have to run to Walmart. I think we need like 2 gallons of water to get us through tomorrow morning. Because I don't think there's quite enough of the other stuff left. Number one, I don't know what she's planning on making for dinner, but I know I'm gonna need water for dinner. And I just remembered we can't go to Harps, so... Because someone was bragging in there yesterday when Russell went in there, or bitching to one of their coworkers about how they can't afford to get sick and they got exposed to COVID and didn't have a mask on. And I'm like, really? At least put an effing mask on so you find out if you have it or not. Like, what the fuck? But no, let's contaminate everyone that you're now gonna come in contact with after you're so mad about potentially being exposed. But that's perfectly fine for you to be in other people's faces, bitching and exposing them. Hello? If you can't afford to be sick, very doubtful they can afford to be sick as well, so... Common sense seems on short supply around here. Like, I just can't. I just can't with some of these people down here anymore. I just can't. I think some people down here have been out in the sun a little too long. And I totally don't want to be members of some of the town's Facebook pages anymore that are run by residents, but the only reason I am is in case we find a pet that's missing, to try to get more eyes on it, or to see, you know, why did the power go out?
I don't have a target.
Does anybody know? Is the whole town out, or is it just me, sort of things? This one lady was actually on there yesterday or the day before, showing a cell phone video of the one side of her house, and then she's like, and this is what's going on the other side of my house. What's going on in Prairie Grove tonight? Like, there was like 3 cop cars at one of her neighbors, and somebody's like, probably something domestic involved. Like, so I'm like, okay, so it's not like they have the entire street shut down. It's not like there's 500 police cars in your street. If there were, why would you be out in the street? But now you're taking video of your neighbor's house and several cop cars there, and what's probably already an embarrassing situation for them, and now putting it all over one of the town Facebook pages, spreading their business everywhere. Those are fairly new neighbors there, because somebody had just bought that house within the past couple of months. I'm sure they really appreciated that. I'm sure. And I'm just like, wow, that's one way to make some enemies right there. I'm just like, really, lady, you couldn't have done that a little more tactfully? Like, really? Just like, why not just go over afterwards if you want to know that bad and be like, hey, I saw all the cop cars, is everything okay? Can I help you with anything? If you really want to know that bad. I mean, you've already partially inserted yourself in the situation, you might as well go full blown if you really need to know for curiosity's sake. I'm just like, wow. Okay. I tell ya. The stuff I see on those pages is just incredible. And not in a good way, just incredible. Like, am I really seeing this? People have gotten so much... I don't know if bolder's really the word, or if their discretionary filters are just no longer existent. I don't know. It's been like, okay.
I need to target something first.
So we've got about half a bar left. I did loot that. It just takes a few minutes for this, well, not a few minutes, but a few seconds for the sparkles to vanish. Alright, I'm seeing a couple of people out here today. It's like the 3rd or 4th person I've seen. Not as many flower farmers. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not seeing like the copious train of flower farmers. Maybe they took down a few people that were farming in ways they shouldn't have been. Because I'll see a couple different druid flight forms with riders being flown around,
I'm out of range.
popping on and popping back off to loot. Perhaps people are still using the key broadcasters how they're not supposed to be. Or, like Blizzard said, don't do this. Maybe they're being found slowly and weeded out. I don't know. But there's definitely less people. It could be end of X pack blues too. That's entirely possible. Where people are just kind of taking their breaks and getting ready for other things. Really surprised we didn't get the little gear guy to show up. Yet. Really surprised. With how low those bracers were. Because usually he shows up whether or not the objective window's open.
I don't have a target.
You don't have a target? Yeah, no, he ain't there. Does it not show up on Demon Hunters? That would be funny. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so. Got that guy. Turtles are being stingy. Stingy, stingy turtles. So sorry we went so early today, but like I said, I was awake and I can't handle sitting around waiting for stream start time. I shouldn't have been awake this early, but I was.
I need a target.
For reasons, so. I think Prime Days are happening. This might be second day of Prime Day. I don't know. It's hard to keep up with those things when you don't have money to spend at them. So I'm like vaguely aware and I'm like, I think I saw somebody mention something about it. And I keep seeing all of these sales from Arteza popping up in my email and I'm like, that's great and all, but I don't have money to spend with you right now.
I need to target something.
I just don't, and I'm sorry. But that's not gonna happen. Like, there's all sorts of things I want to get. I want to get their detail brushes. I want to try their watercolor paper. I haven't tried it. I want to try their gouache. I have a thing for paintbrushes, so I've got like 10 different packs of paintbrushes, I think, on one of my art supply wish lists on Amazon. Though I'm really sad the desk I wanted that I had put on my wish list is no longer available. And it said it didn't know if it would be coming back, and I'm like, oh, but no. But it's not like really had the money to spend on it anyways. Kills me dropping that much money on a desk, and I'm just like, really? This desk better be worth it.
It's too far away.
'Cause that's a whole ass a lot of money. I keep seeing these ads for these craft storage cabinets, on Facebook, and then in the comments, people are like, this is a scam every time I've tried to order one. I never get it, and I haven't heard back from the company, and they're like, no, not from this site, it's legit, and I'm like, really? Is this like the only company that makes these? Because I've not seen it available from anywhere else, like any other stores. I should look on QVC. If it's legit, they might have it. Oh, we got a silky mane. It's our first one this level. We've killed how many of these foxes? I don't even want to know. Don't even want to know how many of these we have killed. Alright. Oh, not quite. We're close. We're close to at least one more kill, if not two. Though, I don't know. I don't think one's gonna do it. I could be wrong. Yeah, no. Alright, let's see. Is the horse here? Where's the horse? Horse? There's the horse. I try to get this guy before I move further along on the rotation. Because he's our one patrolling wild card. That could ruin my day. Oh, we got another green. That's good. Add that to the vendor pile. Probably won't see that many greens next level. I'll be surprised. Excuse me. There's our ding. We still didn't have the little guy show up. I am surprised. Maybe when durability hits 10 that picks off? I don't know. That's definitely surprising. Alright, let's hearth back to Hero's Rest. What do we get? Just the new dungeon, I think? Yeah, okay. So let's crop that down. Alright, so WoW, challenges, Bloodthirsty Soul Glaive. This is our Vengeance Demon Hunter. Ding's level 57. So she's looking at a slash played so far of 6 days, 4 hours, 23 minutes, and 27 seconds. And her total kills to date, critters included. Oh, that's gonna be 9,390. Alright, so we'll send that off to Twitter. Alright, so our repair bill, 21 gold. Kind of figured it was going to be a little hefty with our durability being so far down on some of those items. So let's go ahead and do our vendor trash first. We did pick up 1 Imperial Horn and 1 Suffused Horn. And 1 Silky Mane, so that was interesting. We picked up 1 of each of the big ticket guys. Alright, so our vendor trash came to 307. And let's take a look at our green stuff here. Okay, and greens netted us 476. And they still have a bit of rusted that they need to pick up here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got about 2 more days that they need to just sit and chill, which is fine because we've got other challengers to work on. Alright, so we're gonna pop over to the working man now. Doesn't look like we've sold anything. Although maybe we have and it just hasn't shown up in the mail yet. So we'll see what that's got going on. And let me click on the working man thing so we know this is the working man, since we've concluded the bloodthirsty portion of today's stuff. Oh, we have sold some stuff. Okay, so we sold one of the citrines, or a couple of the citrines. We sold what, 5 iron bars and at least 1 jade. None of the life fruit that I need to sell though. Damn it. I need to sell the life fruit. I guess I should have priced it lower. I have a feeling we're going to be letting that go for a song pretty soon. You've not chosen a class specialization. I know. My working man is specless. At the moment, I didn't really see much of a point of putting a spec on her, since I didn't have to. Now, the pacifist hunter had a spec because that's how old they were. They were started like back in Legion, so they didn't have the option of not picking one. And since this one was just gonna be mostly gathering after a certain point, I really didn't feel like we needed to bother specking, because, you know, meh. Because if irons can't kill stuff after a certain level, I'm certainly not attempting it with the working man, because they're in the same gear, so, you know, that would be dumb. The main reason I went working man this time out. Pacifist hunter. Yeah, I did one. Down in front, the gnome hunter on the pacifist list is me. Just dismiss your pet. Don't have it out. I had all of my damage buttons off of my bar. Do be aware if you drop a trap though, it's probably going to cause aggro. I never had to drop one though. But yeah, you can do a pacifist hunter. More than possible, Dave. With things being how they are, and trying to get to level 5 to get your professions, might take a little bit of, you know, exploring and stuff. That's why I went working man, so I could kill stuff to get to level 5. So I could go and learn my professions a little bit faster. I don't think the next... I mean, we've got a Dark Moon Fair coming up next month. Next world event isn't until September. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to start the pacifist either during Dark Moon Fair or during holidays, just to get to level 5 that much easier. So our next holiday should be Brewfest. I mean, Dark Moon Fair on the 7th, but oh, we have Harvest Festival too, but that really is not... I don't know why Harvest Festival is a week-long thing. Harvest Festival needs to be a micro-holiday. There's no point in this being a week-long extravaganza. There really isn't. In my personal opinion. You go to the city, you get your quest. You go to Uther's tomb, you come back. That's pretty much it. Like, this could be like a weekend thing. I really don't see why this is a week-long event, but whatever. So, I mean, you've got that on the 6th, but I think you're better off just waiting till Brewfest. I mean, you'll have to be careful during Brewfest that you don't pick up a prox kill, as any pacifist has to be at any time that they're out. But, I mean, there is some stuff that pacifists can do at Brewfest, so. I mean, we have someone that's currently on the list as a pacifist death knight, but they're an allied race pacifist death knight, which is how they got around getting out of the starting area, because the allied races just portal out. They don't have to kill anything. I mean, they won't get a write-up because they're a death knight, but and death knights don't get write-ups no matter what the challenge. Unless Lita changes her mind and wants something done for that one, but that is Lita's call. Under normal circumstances, they wouldn't be getting one. Alright. So we'll go ahead and we'll grab this, and I should have at least a full level of rested here, if not a level and a half, because I haven't had time to work on this guy. Gal. I didn't touch them at all last week, even though the list says I did. I had forgotten to update the level change. So when I did remember to go and update the level change, then it got picked up on the following week. I didn't actually level this one last week. I didn't have time. What with being sick and all, so that migraine wasn't playing. And I'm so mad too, because I was feeling okay. Well, I wasn't feeling okay, but I was starting to feel better towards the end of that stream last Wednesday, and within like an hour of finishing stream, eating dinner, and starting to get my other stuff done that I needed to get done, I just felt like I got run over by a train. I was like, oh god, what happened? We were starting to feel better. But no, body rebelled, and they're like, yeah, just kidding. I'm like, no, what are you doing? Alright, I don't like keeping the stone in the bag. I'd rather have that in the main bag. And save the mining bag for just the ore. Alright, so we're getting about, what was that, 1600 XP here? We are rested, so, and we do have Crommy time on. One of the few instances that I actually use Crommy time is on the gathering challengers. So I can stay in the places that I find to be a bit safer. Alright, I don't see the rare, so I'm gonna sneak in here and grab this one. There's usually a rare that's sitting right around in here. He looks like a big reddish swampy thing, kind of like those weird bog creatures from wetlands. He's very out of place, so you will definitely notice him. He's pretty much one of the few mobs that you'll directly encounter if you're on foot, so you'll have to be careful scooting by him. Still possible to scoot by, but just remember not to AFK there. Down here you can probably AFK, like in this spot or something, but I wouldn't AFK right there. That would probably not go well. Alright, so we're basically just gonna be picking flowers here. So we're currently 47. And I figure we'll probably go until we run out of rusted here. We'll see. Because I know the husband's planning, or possibly planning on doing something with our friend. I don't know what time that's supposed to happen, though. I don't know if he has stuff he has to get done during the day.
Yeah, don't rush on our account.
Yeah, I didn't know what time you were settling in with Tyler.
We have no set time.
Okay. Because I think they're going to be playing Civ. At least I think that's the current plan. They started to play last night, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get back into that game because Russell crashed and he was hosting. Oh, okay.
And if not, I should have an autosave that's like only 3 or 4 turns back. Ooh, excuse me.
Yeah, I had gone to bed early, but I had woke up to hearing Russell say, "Oh shit, I just crashed a desktop." I was like, oh no. No, that's not good. And hearing our friend go, "Oh no." Apparently they hadn't planned on playing that late, but they were like, just one more turn, and then like an hour later they were like, oh shit. How'd that happen? So you be careful because you do have mobs down there. I'm so mad I learned the faster speed of riding by accident. I wasn't paying attention. So some of these loops when I come through, there's nothing for me to really pick because my mount speed is faster than the stuff's respawning. So if there's one thing I can go back and change on this character, it would be to unlearn, or not learn at all, that second speed of riding. I wish we could go back and unlearn it. I don't want to be zooming through here. Because it's not really saving me any time, because then I have to do double the loops looking for the nodes to respawn. I think I was just like in a, okay, let's learn this, and then on the second I hit learn it, I was like, fuck. I was like, I don't want to do it. Damn it. Like, why did you do that? But it's done now. Where is this? Can I get to this? I don't... Which hill is this on? It's on that one. I don't know about that. That one makes me nervous. I don't know if they're gonna trigger. You never know. I've had some mobs trigger on nodes that it's like, why? I'm nowhere near you. So, it's probably not a trap, but I don't remember looting that one previously. So, I think I'm gonna let that one be. Probably be the better option there. Alright. Actually, we might only do one level on this because my tailbone's starting to bother me some more. I'd gotten into a position where it wasn't really bothering me, and now it's acting up again. And I do have video editing I have to do at some point tonight. I need to edit video, and I need to work on that warrior. I really don't want to edit video today, though. Just not in the mood. I know how much video editing's awaiting me, so I'm just like, I don't wanna. It took me like 3 hours to edit 2 hours of video yesterday. So I'm just like, I don't want to. Because I can't even purge the original video from my hard drive until I render it, in case something goes wrong on the render. I don't want to spend another 2 hours downloading it. From the YouTube channel. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I thought it was closer. It was not. Alright, it looked like there was one. There it is, I was gonna say. I saw it. And then it vanished. Oh, got some jade. So nice, we got a lesser moonstone, a citrine, and a jade. The stuff that sold has shown up in our mailbox. I do miss my auction house mod that would say Bazinga whenever I sold something. I didn't always see the message pop up saying a buyer has been found for X. But that's okay. It's probably better that I'm not running like 500 mods right now. That's a lie. I never used that many mods. I think the most mods I've run are like 5. If that. Right now I'm running Bagnon and Healbot. That's actually running. I have Camel Spotter there, but it's disabled. I had Handy Notes, but that's disabled. I think I had one more, but I can't remember what it was. But I was never able to really get Camel Spotter to work right. I might have been missing a component or something. Anything's possible with that. So we're just about halfway through this level. It goes a lot faster when you're rested, that's for damn sure. I'm torn between Parkitect and painting tomorrow. It's like, no, we should wait till paint on Sunday, but at the same time, I like really want to work on my project. But on the other hand, I do have a bunch of shit I need to be working on now that I don't have free time for the next couple of days. So, like, yeah, I want to work on it, but I also have like 20,000 other things I need to be working on instead. So we've got that speed felt to put together. We've got challengers to work on for next week. We've got a Parkitect stream tomorrow. In theory. We've got to squeeze in some Michael's Minecraft. I need to find more iron. That's what I was on the hunt for last night when I had to stop abruptly. I only found like 4 pieces, and I was starting to get mad. I'm finding copper out the wazoo, but I'm not finding any iron. And I'm okay with finding copper to a degree, because I need it for the roof of my house that I'm going to be building shortly. Well, I'm already in the process of building it, I just haven't finished building it yet. The basement, first floor greenhouse is in. And then I got distracted. Instead of doing the rest of the house, I started working on the pathway outside of the house. And I was like, oh, I need iron to finish off the outside of this because I need to put some lanterns down. I swear it feels like some days I swear I have ADHD because I just can't get anything done. I'm in like 15 different places at once, and I'm in the middle of working on something, and then something else like hits my brain. I'm like, oh, I need to go do that right now because I'm gonna forget. So, ugh, my brain. I hate my brain sometimes because it doesn't, you know, stick to one thing and finish it before moving on. It's tough though, because when you're in Minecraft you have to stop and resupply sometime. It's like I kept running out of jungle wood for what I was working on. So every time I had to stop and go get more wood, then something else popped in my brain of what I needed to go get, and I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go do this, but... Alright. That dot looked like it was coming from down this way. So we're over halfway on this level. And we're currently up to 46 iron ore and 2 gold and 77 life root. Soon to be 70 something. 70... What are we gonna get? 78. We got 1. Oh, and I have to fold laundry tonight too, so... But the dogs, or at least one of the dogs, is buried in the laundry that just came out of the dryer, so... It could be 900 degrees in here, and they're like, nope, I want to be on the hot thing. I'm like, really, pupper? Some nights when that AC is just not cutting it, I'll have a dog plastered to my stomach, and I'm like, you're really not helping me here. I'm overheating. Could we maybe at least put the sheet between us? And he's like, nope. I want to be touching you. Terribly cute and all, and it's fine in the winter when I'm freezing my ass off, but in the summer, it's warm. It's warm having a little mini furnace velcroed to me. It did just come back. But I try not to double back or else I'll be forever double backing. And we'll probably be doing another loop anyway. At least. All right. Nothing? We got nothing. Nothing's respawned yet. tempted to do this on foot. I'm not gonna, but I'm tempted. Just to give this stuff a chance to respawn. We're getting a couple of things though. Now that one is up there and there's some mobs up there, so we're gonna skip that one. Same with that one. That one's a little too close to some other guys floating around up there. So we'll just have to bypass those guys. 'Cause they're just not for us. All right. Now see, here's the big question. Do I want to try to put this stuff back up on Auction House, like the new stuff that we've just gotten, when we're done this run? Or do I want to sit on it and wait for the other stuff to get sold? Because I have a feeling, because of the time of day that I put it up, I'm going to get undercut. If I haven't been undercut already, I'm sure I have. So I don't know if it's worth adding to what's already been undercut, or if I want to undercut myself and anybody else. Don't know. I always feel dumb undercutting myself, but oof. Oh, body. Body's angry today. Like, I have done nothing to warrant this except exist. All I did yesterday afternoon was dishes. That was it. Oh yeah, I still have to do those too. I was gonna shampoo the rug, but we might be trying to order something to put on the rug because we had a flea outbreak and the flea medication on the dogs is only doing so much. And I don't even know if it's doing anything on the cats at this point. We're combing them multiple times a day to try to keep things from getting too out of hand. But I'm not impressed with this stuff that we used last time. Just not. All that thrilled with it. Now, I keep seeing the strangle kelp. I know it's there. I just don't feel like going into the water. I don't think there's any fish in this water that's gonna hurt me, but I can't remember. And, I'd rather not mess with that, so... There's that iron ore that we were contemplating coming back for. Alright, so we got about 3.5 bars left to go. We're up to 103 life root, so life root's definitely what's more plentiful on this run. So if you're looking for life root, for inscription ink or alchemy. Definitely find a good amount of it back here. Doopa 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 doo doo doo. Alright, 3 bars left to go on the working man this week, so she's getting closer to entering Shadowlands. I was gonna push for her to get out there, but I don't know. I'm nowhere near having money to buy another WoW token, so nowhere near. Stuff doesn't sell on my server like it does for Taco. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you vanished. I didn't know what was up.
Yeah, I pulled the clothing and took a shower and changed into new clothing.
Oh, okay.
To I was due. Alright, so...
I see.
Still going okay.
Yeah, I see.
I'm not sure if you were off the air.
No. I see the dogs, or at least a dog, has taken over the hot laundry.
Yep.
Or at least the marginally warm laundry. Did Momo get a piece?
Yes, he did. And the towel piece.
Momo's still terrified to get on the bed, so he doesn't get to dig through the pile of fresh laundry to roll around in it and bask in the warmth from the dryer, so we try to accommodate him by pulling out something and putting it in his dog bed. That seems to make him feel included, at least, as far as we can tell. He seems to appreciate it. I really gotta find another blanket for him, because we need to wash the blanket that's in his bed. There was a second blanket that matched that one. It didn't look exactly like it, but it was the same material, because we both got one. And I'll be damned if I know where that second blanket is. I don't know what happened to it. But we had both ended up with one, I thought, when we went on one of the trips to deal with the parents. Maybe I was the only one that got a blanket. I thought we both did, though, but I guess I'm wrong. Because none of the other blankets that we have in this house match that same texture. And I'm so confused about that. Maybe it was 1 blanket and 2 fans and not 2 blankets and 2 fans that we had picked up. Because I remember the reasoning why I picked up that blanket. Me and my weirdness. But, me and my weirdness and traveling. I don't know, that was my travel blanket. I mean, I guess it's a good thing we can't travel anywhere now, because I can't take it from him. He gets upset when I take it. He spends all day staring at me like, where's my fucking blanket? But we really need to clean his dog bed, because one of the animals tipped the little cup of food that I keep next to his dog bed for him, so he doesn't have to go too far if he's hungry, because I never know what kind of pain day he's having. And they tipped it into the dog bed, and we'd started to clean it up, but it was in the middle of the night, and we're just like, fuck it, we'll get it in the morning, and we haven't gotten it yet. It's been a couple of days, and this morning he was starting to eat the food out of the dog bed instead of out of the cup, and I'm like, no, don't do that. Eat it out of the cup. I'm like, buddy, come on. You're being extra weird now, so... But we need to wash those blankets. And then he's gonna give me the stink eye for taking his blanket. I don't really have anything I can put in there and place it. We might have an old piece of guinea pig fleece. that I can put in there temporarily. Or maybe it was fleece that we were going to use for the guinea pigs and then didn't because it didn't. We weren't able to remove the water barrier enough on it. There's our ding on that one. Oh, I had about a half a level on that. Because you have to do stuff to the fleece that you put in the guinea pig cage if that's the way you go for their bedding, to make it so that the pee will go through the fleece down into your absorbent layer underneath of it, so it just doesn't sit on top, bubbled up. And some of the fleece that we would buy, that would work. Morgraine, I'm not doing that because I can't do the skip until 50, but she wouldn't let me decline the quest right now, so fuck off. Yeah, for some reason, some of it, we couldn't break down the water barrier on it. Most of it we could, but some of it just refused to cooperate, which was infuriating. So that level netted us 126 life fruit, 73 iron ore, and 2 gold ore. So I haven't really been seeing much gold out there lately. Forgot we took our photo. And I'm just in the starter gear. I saw no reason to change out of that yet. Alright, so WoW challenges, Working Man, Soul Blister. Come on, dyslexic brain, put them in the right order. Dings, level, what did I say we were? 48. So we're looking at a slash plate of 1 day, 21 hours, 42 minutes, and 14 seconds. Alright, so we'll tweety. Okay. Let's pop on down into here. Oh, Dottie wasn't out. Forgot all about Doddles. Alright, we're just gonna smelt that real quick while we're here. Oh. Okay. So yeah, tomorrow we'll probably end up being Parkitect. More than likely. As much as I want to get an extra art day in, I kind of do at least want to go as far as I can stand on the Parkitect scenarios, because there's more than I thought there were. My bad. For some reason, I didn't think there would be more than 10 campaigns. Silly me. But we're missing 10 of them because we don't have one of the DLCs. So that's fine. It's not a huge deal. So this one's sitting at 18,000 that she's made from auctions. And my bank alt is sitting at 113. I can't go by the 168 as being a true number because some of that gold is horde side, and I can't do anything with it at the moment. I can't buy a token with it from the auction house because it's not all in the same server, or the same faction, excuse me. Same server. Or close enough. I mean, the Death Knight's not on this server, but it's on a connected. But I don't have enough on the horde side to buy a token strictly over there. Alright, so got that one. Got that one. Cool Hand Luke. Wasn't that a movie? I feel like it was. I could be wrong, but that sounds familiar. So we made 29 gold so far. There. Is anything else sold while we've been gone? No. Okay. So we'll drop that into there. It looks like somebody else has matched my price on that. We will add to that. And nobody else has undercut me on that yet. Jade. We've got 2 more citrines to add. Somebody undercut us on that. And that's fine. Okay, alright. I'm like, why aren't these stacking? Because there are 2 different times. So, I usually use her. Today we're using her. See what happens, just to change things up a little bit. Not that I'm superstitious or anything. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's WoW stuff. Sorry we did start early, but it's just the way life went this week, so apologies if you missed the live stream. It'll be available here for a couple of days on Twitch, and I should have it moved over to the archival area on my YouTube channel on the WoW Challenges playlist by this weekend. So you guys have a good night. Good luck on your challengers. Stay safe on them in and out of game as well. There will be a podcast this week, so don't forget about that. 7 p.m. Eastern on the WoW Challenges Twitch page. I believe it's just Lita this weekend. And as always, you know where to find me. Don't forget to follow here and your notifications on. Follow the YouTube channel. It's free to do that over there. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch as well, so that you know when, or on Twitter, excuse me, so you know when we're gonna go live. There's too many T channels here, like as in letter T, like Twitch, Twitter, all the things. So yeah, you guys have a great afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow at some point for Parkitect. We might be starting a little late tomorrow. We'll see how life goes, because we have to run some errands tomorrow. But until we are together again, have a good one.